What is the purpose behind you learning this thing? I mean, this course on R is there are various reasons why a person wants to learn R. See, primarily R is a statistical programming language. Is it that you want to learn for statistics or improve your skills in statistics? Or, as popularly said, R is the language for data science by non technical people. Is it because of that or some other reason? Can somebody help me, please? Anybody, please?
I can go
What?
first. I'm an assistant data scientist, so I do all of my work in R. So I'm kind of going to be more interested in like the topics later in the week, but I use R for everything that I do.
Oh, great. So anybody else, please, what could be the reason? What is the reason why you want to share? I mean, why do you want to do this course in R programming? Is it anything else other than what was told by your colleague just now? Or is it something different apart from that? It is for this reason that we shall, uh, I mean, streamline this entire presentation to your requirements. Tell me, please.
Uh, I can speak for just myself, but I don't
Yeah, good
I don't
evening. Good
necessarily
morning.
think this is going to be everyone else's reason. Uh, Mostly my team uses object-oriented programming, paradigms like for JavaScript. So having to work with a functional programming language is an interesting sort of change, and I'm glad to get to compose functions again. That'll be fun.
Oh, great. That's great. So we take you as the representative person of this entire population, and we go by whatever you both have said. Unless otherwise somebody else has some other reason, perfectly fine. Please let me know. Anybody, anything else? Okay. That's great. In any case, please understand R is the language of data science for non-technical people. And if you're technical, if you've got the technical bent of mind, you have to learn it using Python. Can anybody, since few of you have already worked with R, can you please tell me how many libraries in R are there that you should be learning to master R? The good lady who just spoke out before, I'm sorry, I couldn't trace you. I mean, who was the lady who spoke out in the beginning? Could you please
Yeah.
tell me, please? Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you,
there's so
Scott.
many packages in R. I don't know
How
if I could
many?
put a specific number on it. I primarily work in the tidyverse.
Okay, that is one among, you can say, a needle in the ocean. In fact, if I could say, there are 15,000 plus packages in R that you should be learning. Uh, but if you want to learn primarily for data analytics, which is the, I would say, the younger brother of data science, you just need to learn 10 packages. And these 10 packages are very, very powerful packages. And tell this with utmost confidence just because I am into the same field of R and Python programming for the last 26 plus years. Currently, I work for a multinational company at Sultanate of Oman. I keep shuttling between India and Oman because we have got a development team at India and we have got a head office at Oman. So I keep moving between Oman, India, and Belgium. So what we shall do, assuming that all of you are with some kind of a programming background, please understand one thing. As a friend, if I could advise you, when you learn R has to be learned under three heads. Again, I'm telling under three heads. It is for this reason that I have conducted umpteen number of sessions for Carnegie Mellon University, Texas, lot of places in US, UK, Australia, Middle East, lot of places, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, lots and lots of places, which I'm still conducting. You have to learn R in three steps. The first, you need to learn functional R programming. Then you need to learn libraries in R, and then statistics in R. And in statistics, if I could say, there are 50 statistical techniques that you need to learn in order to master R. And amongst all these 50 statistical techniques, which starts with the fundamental things of mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, interquartile range, so on, so on, so on, it goes all the way till MCMC technique, which is Monte Carlo Markov chain technique. Please understand, more than 95% of problems, practical problems in today's world, are considered as problems under extreme uncertainty. So if you're solving a problem under extreme uncertainty and you want to have the best of the best results, there is no other technique other than Monte Carlo Markov chain technique. You have to learn that. In any case, since we are restricted to this 5 into 8 40 hours, definitely we shall do justice. And what I, since we would be together for this next 40 hours, I shall sincerely request each one of you that apart from this syllabus, which we will definitely do, more than this, let's solve some practical problems. Are you with me?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yes,
Definitely.
because see, I'm the last person on this earth who will say that let's do something academic and tell thank you and we pack up. No, I won't get a sound sleep in the night unless otherwise we do practical problems. So definitely what we need to do, all the things what has been rightly shared with me, the syllabus, and definitely with you too, please do that. Over and above that, see, although in your syllabus it only covers linear regression, please understand the importance of linear regression is bare minimal in today's world. You have to do some more algorithms. What is in my mind is that definitely I want to do with you that is a classification. I want to do a tree based approach. I want to do clustering. I want to do neural networks with you. Definitely solve problems in all these things. All this we will be able to do only under one condition: if you're with me. Are you with me, please? Can we all solve lots and lots of problems?
We can.
Yes,
Eh,
that's great.
eh, I'm
That
here.
that's great. Great, that's great. Okay, let's do one thing. Get going with our session, because all that what is in the session, these are the building blocks for what you need to do. You have to know all these concepts before you undertake anything or try solving anything in R. So definitely we shall get going with a session and start off with the fundamental thing which is there, which as on today you need to, I would say you need to know it. So kindly do one thing. Have you installed this R Studio on your system, and are you getting a similar interface what you can see on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. In fact, please understand, this R is a part of the CRAN library, CRAN, which is Comprehensive R Archive Network. So the whole of this thing, what we would be seeing as part of this, which I would say would be 99% practical, by barring maybe about first about 30 35 minutes or little bit of concepts which I shall tell you. Thereafter it is end to end of practical. The whole of this thing, when you learn R, and that too if you want to learn R for the purpose of solving problems, which I would say is solving any analytical problem, it just involves 4 steps. That is importing, tidying, transforming, and visualizing. These are the only 4 steps that you need to, I would say, it involves in solving any practical problem. And the whole game of whatever you would be doing, I've shown it on this small little screen, this one. This is what, let me move this to one side. Yeah, this is what you would be doing. That is importing, tidying, transforming, and visualizing the data. So this basically, I would call it as the whole game as what would you be doing. So definitely what we will do, we will start off with what is in the syllabus, which I have, the whole of the syllabus I have broken it down into different days, so that we cover end to end of whatever has been shared with me. plus additional many more things which will be very very useful for you when you start solving problems. But once again, please remember, on completion of this series of instructions, that is for these 5 days, I stand with you for the next 105 years from this Friday onwards. It is for this reason that whenever you want to do any project in R, Python, or its newer entrant of Julia, you definitely need somebody who has got ample expertise in solving it. Don't worry, whenever you solve a problem, definitely for your office, you get stuck anywhere, please drop a one line mail to me saying I've got stuck here, bail me out. Definitely I shall reach out to you. I shall tell you how is that you overcome this problem and get into developing wonderful solutions for your office. So definitely please bear it in mind, I shall be with you for the next 105 years, right from today, the right from the last day of this course. And this package of R, we use it for data analysis. So definitely we need to know the basics of programming in R. Please understand, this R is a full programming language with both functional programming and object oriented programming features. And definitely it would be really good that you learn end to end of this. There are some wonderful packages in R which is extensively used, like this magritter package and deployer package, that is DPLYR, deployer and magritter package. These are very very powerful packages in R, and it is extensively used. You would also realize it as we get going with our session. And what I had shown you in the previous slide, this is basically, are you able to see my R Studio? Am I sharing the
Yes.
screen? Okay, yeah, let me get back. Yeah, this is the R Studio, and R is a part of this CRAN library, like I said, Comprehensive R Archive Network. This R Studio, whenever you develop or run any program in this, if you want to visualize an output, you can direct, even you can, by default, the visualization is available at the right hand side of the screen. But it does not mean that you cannot have it somewhere else. Definitely, you can have it at any folder in your computer, you can have it across the network, on the cloud, anywhere you can have you can have this output, absolutely not a problem. Now what we shall do, we shall start off, see, because I'm finding it very very uncomfortable for the reason, two reasons. One, because it is pretty warm in my place here. The second, that's on a lighter side. The second, I cannot conduct any session unless I do some practical. So I shall request all of you, let's get going with a practical, which would continue till the last minute on the last day.
Hello, sir.
And
Can I
don't
ask a
worry,
question?
please, all up to you. Yes, sir. Please ask me, sir.
Okay, yeah, I noticed your version. You're in version 4. Um, I don't think I've updated my R in a while. I'm in version 3.6. Is that going to be an issue with respect to your curriculum?
Yes, yes. What will happen? There are, see, all with all this versions of R going higher and higher. Not today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. Thereafter, you will find there are certain packages which does not exist. I mean, you are not able to execute in the older version of R. You have to have the latest version, but it hardly takes any time, as per the instruction which I had shared with Mr. Steve. If you could follow that, it hardly takes 1 to 1.5 minutes to download the latest version of R. If you want, I can hold on for another 1 or 2 minutes. You could download it right away. Let's all do it together.
I think, Dr. Suresh, is they can't do it. Their computers are
Oh,
locked down.
okay. So you can do one thing, absolutely not a problem. You can work with this, and wherever those packages you're not able to execute, kindly you can reach out to your system admin and request them if it can be, I mean, if the latest version of R can be downloaded on your system. or the online version of R which I had shared, whichever is comfortable. So if you're comfortable, can we get going, please? If all of you are
Uh,
with me,
uh,
can, yeah,
yeah, I know.
please.
I'm wondering if I have to update it. I'm looking up in our um, updates here. I'm trying to see if I am up to date with what our company gives us. Um, but would we want to be asking HTG to upgrade the R for this meeting?
That's what I said. Today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, it will not be a problem. Everything you can execute in whichever version of R you have got. But
Okay.
thereafter, it may work out to be a problem. There are certain
Okay.
functions which you won't be able to execute. Okay, let's get
Good to
going
know.
with our R story. Yep. Okay, we start off R at the very fundamental thing. Please understand, you can use R console as a calculator wherein you type in an expression you want to calculate, then hit enter, and R gives you the result. Say I want to add 1 plus 2, give an enter and it tells me it is 3. Or I want to divide 4 by 2, it tells me it is 2. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, anything it will perform. The fundamental mathematical operations. I say 2 plus 2 times 3, it will tell me it is 12. These basically, this is the most fundamental thing in R, where you execute this so as you get a feel of what this thing is, what this R is. So you're comfortable with this, we shall get going with our session. The only problem which you might face is, see, I cannot blow up my screen. That is one small hitch in R. If you're not able to carefully, if you view, unlike in Python where I can blow up my screen, here it is a little difficult. So you're comfortable with this, please give me a yes and we shall go ahead.
Yeah,
I can
looks
do
fine to
it.
me.
Thank you.
Yeah, so can we go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. See, when you write numbers like any number, like say 4 and 3, they are always interpreted as floating point numbers, even if they print as integers, that is, without a decimal point. So, so to explicitly get an integer, what you should do, you should write it as 4L or 3L, the number followed by L. That is, if I say class, what is the class of this number flow? It will tell me it is numeric. Now, if I say what is the class of this 4 and capital L, it will tell me it is integer. Like I said, any numbers like 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, they are always interpreted as floating point numbers, even if they are printed as integers, that is without a decimal place. So to explicitly get an integer, you must write it as that number with followed by a L sign. Kindly be very, very clear of all these things, because these are the building blocks when we start solving problems, which in absolutely no time we shall start solving. In the meanwhile, see, there are many, many functions like this, which we shall see. Can anybody tell me as to how do you remember all this? What is the trick of remembering all this? Anybody, please?
Practice.
No, the definitely
Well,
practice, no substitute for practice. But please remember, even to this day, the most experienced programmers, whenever they do programming in R, Python, Julia, anything, they have a quick syntax reference book kept right next to them. And the quick syntax reference book or a ready reckoner book, it tells you as to what is the code which you should be using. It will not give you the solution. It will tell you the syntax of each and every operation that you need to do. And the best of the books are definitely the books which are published in the United States. The only benefit I as a person get is I hold the lifetime membership of hundreds and thousands of libraries around the world, wherein any book which is released, I get an intimation, and if I want to download that book, I just need to raise a ticket, and within 48 hours the library gives me permission and I'm able to download it. So if anybody wants any book in R, there are umpteen number of books. Kindly do not tell me now, maybe on the second last day, please remind me once as to which book you want. Definitely I shall share it with you. And all these books are not the books which I have published. No, these are the books by reputed authors and publishers in the world, and they are very expensive books. I shall give it you free, you can take it, no problem. A courtesy from my side. Can we get going, please? If you're comfortable till here.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Now see,
Yes, sir. Thanks.
yeah, it doesn't matter if you have an integer or floating point number, and everywhere you see numbers in R, they are likely to be floats. You will still get a floating point if you divide two integers. And there is no need to tell R explicitly that you want floating point division. Now, if you do not want, say, integer division, on the other hand, you need to use the modulo operator, that is percentage divided by percentage. I said if you want integer division, you need to specify percentage divided by percentage. That is, if I say 4 percentage divided by percentage 3, it will tell me it is 1. Now, in many languages, friends, this percentage or the modulo sign is used to get the remainder of a division, but it doesn't quite work with R, where this percentage is used for something else. And what is this something else? It is for creating new infix operators. So in the R, operator for this is double percentage sign. That is for percentage 3. It will tell me it is 1. Once again, I shall tell this. The earlier one which I use, 4 percentage divided by percentage 3. See, when you if divide two integers, there is no need to tell R explicitly that you want floating point division. Now, if you want integer division, you need to use this percentage divided by percentage sign. And then I said in many languages, this percentage is used for getting the remainder of a division. But this doesn't quite work with R, where this percentage is used for something else, which is nothing but to create new infix operators. So in R, the operation is double percentage sign. So we have written 4 percentage 3. It has told us it is 1. Okay. See, apart from these four fundamental operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, there are you generally face another operator called exponentiation operator. And for exponentiation operator, there are two ways how R handles this. Basically, these two exponentiation operator, which I shall show, they are treated as infix operators. That is, if I want to say, I want to ask R, what is the value of 2 raised to the power 2? I'll say 2 cap 2. It will tell me 4. Or the other way is I can say 2 star star 2. It will tell me the same thing. So both these, that is this cap and this double star, both are infix operators in R. You can do this and let me know, please, user. Okay, going ahead. See, apart from all these things, you also need to understand as to what are strings. Now, strings basically work as you expect. You can write them in quotes, which can be either a single quote or a double quote. That is, if I say hello and maybe a question, maybe a comma, and put it in inverted commas, hit enter, it will give me back the same thing. Or on the other hand, if I use a single inverted comma, I say world explanation and single inverted comma, it will tell me the same thing. With R, whether you use a single or a double inverted comma, it is exactly one and the same. You may do this, and thereafter we shall do something more interesting.
I'm sorry, you said they were the same?
It is exactly the same, whether
Okay,
it is a double inverted comma or a single inverted comma.
great.
But one important thing is, please remember all this, because when we start doing problems, which we shall start off from small problems, thereafter get into real time problems, you should be clear of all these things.
Yep, this makes sense.
Great. Okay. The next very important thing you should be knowing is what is an assignment statement in R. So to assign a value to a variable, you use the arrow operator. Now, let me say I want to assign the value 2, number 2, to the variable x. That is, if I want to assign the value 2 to the variable x, I'll write it in this way. This will tell me, now if I want to find out what is the value of x, I'll just call back this variable x and it tells me it is 2. Now, using this variable, which is this x, I can perform any operation. Say I want to multiply 2 by x, it will tell me it is 4. So you may kindly do this, please.
Is it necessary to use that ligature, or is there a separate way of defining?
No, this is the only way.
Only way. Okay, great.
Only way in R.
So if that's the only, does R have an equals operator, or does equals mean something different here?
We are coming to that. How do you
Okay,
assign
great.
something which is equal to? In
Got it.
fact, kindly trust me, we are taking baby steps so
Oh,
that
sure,
in
sure.
absolutely no time we master all these things.
Got it. Great, thank you.
Yeah. Can we go ahead?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, this assignment sign, which is this lesser than and the hyphen, you can assign with arrows in both direction. What does that mean? That means I can even write this way, X. I can even write it this way. It is one and the same, both the direction. But it is always better that we use this one, which I've just highlighted, because it is comfortable. Comfortable for people to understand, or for any other programmer to understand what have you written. So an assignment, please understand, won't print anything if you write it in the R terminal. But you can get R to print it by putting the assignment in parenthesis. That is, if I say X is something which is invisible. Now, if I now call back this variable X, it will tell me it is invisible. This basically you need to put it in parenthesis. Small exercise question for you, which goes well with the gentleman who had just some time back asked on equal to operator. In R, before we do this exercise, the equal to operator does not mean a single equal to, it is double equal to. Once you put double equal to, that is, if I say A equal to B, means the contents of this variable A is exactly the same as contents of variable B. This is what is equal to. Using this, I shall request you, say I shall request you to check if two Boolean values are equal. Kindly check if two Boolean values are equal in R. Maybe we are a little bit early to do this such kind of problems, but I feel it is the right time that we do it. I shall request you to check if two Boolean values are equal in R. In fact, you could do it. I shall also solve it, but I shall silently solve it for the reason that I do not disturb you. You may kindly solve it independently. Once again, I shall also solve it, but without disturbing you. Thereafter, I shall explain it to you. I have taken X as true, Y as true, and I've told the result is X has to be equal to Y. So I have taken a double equal to sign. Then I have told X equal to Y is the result. That is true equal to true is true. That is what I have submitted as the result. It's a small example basically to check if two Boolean values are equal. If this is fine, there is another small question at the tip of my tongue.
I think I'm good with this. Thank you, sir.
Okay. How about others, sir? If you're completed, can we push ourselves ahead with the next very small question?
Yep, we're good.
Thank you, madam. Can you please tell me how do we check if two string values are equal? Very much similar to this. How do you check if two string values are equal in R? Once again, like earlier, I shall do it, but I shall request you, please do not see what I am doing. Do it yourself. This I missed out.
So, sir, I've got a question. Are
Yes.
we supposed to find the quality of two strings using only infix operators?
If you can do it in any other way, it's wonderful. But the question was very clear. I just wanted, had requested you if you can check if two string values are equal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I found a way.
Hmm.
Yep.
We have three hands.
Okay. Simple thing. The exactly like what we did earlier. X I have taken as apple, Y as banana. Since X and Y are not equal, I have told check if X is sorry, this one, the last line, to check if X is equal to Y. So it said me R returned the result that apple equal to banana is false. That's all what we did. Very simple and very, very much similar to what we did earlier.
Now, I
Yes, sir.
found something out by doing this because I accidentally hit the equal sign, which is,
Okay.
just one equals. Now I
Okay.
understand what I think that Margot was explaining. I think there is an assignment operator. We can use equal by itself to be an assignment, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's now start off with the next concept, which is there in the syllabus, which has been shared with you. Definitely, we will do all this. There are a lot of things extra which we need to do, which will act as plug-in in between the syllabus which has been shared with you. Definitely, we have to do that so as